This is the Brilliantly Branded podcast, a safe place to have a voice and talk about branding and all the reasons that bring a brand to be brilliantly branded. I am your host, Maria Lucia Romero, and I am welcoming you to this journey of learning and inspiration to build awareness around the brands. This is the Brilliantly Branded podcast. How do some brands manage their communication, personality, and tone of voice to reflect their values? In this episode, we have a powerful guest sharing the beautiful story behind a media venture designed to profile startups and promote entrepreneurial activities across Europe. We have Stephanie Jabardo with us today, who will share how she adds value with her talents to the Silicon Luxembourg brand. Our conversation reflects the fact that brands communicate their intention that is put behind them. Through Stephanie's voice, let's discover how Silicon Luxembourg's intentions have been printed as a brand with a t-shirt instead of a suit. Stephanie also shares some recommendations to learn from her experience and some entertaining stories to have an amazing time together. So please grab a cup of coffee or tea, get comfortable, and join us for this fresh and straightforward conversation. Welcome to the Brilliantly Branded podcast. Well, today is one of the most important episodes for the Brilliantly Branded podcast. And probably you have been wondering why it's so important. And the reason why it's so important is because I have our first guest. And she is an empowered woman, actually, working in one of the most important medias here in Luxembourg. She's working for Silicon Luxembourg. And I have the pleasure to introduce you to Stephanie Jabardo, who is actually the social media manager and content creator for this amazing brand. So who better than her to introduce herself and let us know all the things and all the stories that she knows how to tell. So please, Stephanie, welcome to Brilliantly Branded Podcast, and all the podium is on your side.
Well, thank you very much. Very, very much. I'm honored to be the first guest on this brilliant podcast. You, Maria, from me and from my team also, because they are aware that we are recording now this today. Actually, they left the office a bit while ago. I mean, like a few minutes ago. And I was asking them if they wanted to extend some information to share something with me. I have some insights already. But then I will introduce myself briefly. I am Stephanie. I work at Silicon Luxembourg, as you said. We are a media company. Sharing digital stories, information, articles, news, all the good news about startups, entrepreneurship, businesses here in Luxembourg, and everything that is happening in the ecosystem. So this is our mission, and we do it with a lot of intention to highlight everything that people is doing here in Luxembourg, the good things, because, a lot of incredible people working very hard every day. They need definitely spotlight and follow-up also. So yeah, this is our mission. And mine specifically here, I am behind the phone, I would say, behind the screen. Sharing everything on social media. I manage all the channels that we have. Of course, this is not a job that is only on me. We have our team. They also help a lot, mainly in all the content that we do, because I am also the content creator here at Silicon. And yeah, this is my daily job, to share everything, to let everyone know, to make it famous online, and yes, that everyone can see what is happening here in the ecosystem.
Well, I love that introduction, and I love the way that you describe your team, because actually brands are made it because of teams behind. And this is part of the things that when we are talking about branding and about a brand that is brilliantly branded, that was one of the things that I found more interesting about Silicon Luxembourg, because I have been part of how you all together as a team are making a really high impact into the society around. And then is one of my next questions that is part of the purpose of the brand, Silicon Luxembourg brand. What are one of the things that you want to be remembered for is a question.
Well, first of all, we want to be remembered as the most impactful media company in the ecosystem. That people who is sharing the news here about the startups, what is happening in the entrepreneurial world. Yeah, we want to be known as the let's say that the first media who's doing this, the people who's committed to do that. And that's why we try also to be in all these events where startups are present, what they are doing, like follow them up, like speaking with them, taking the time to know what they are doing, in, let's say, in which stage they are, and all that. So we really want to be remembered as the most influential media company here in Luxembourg about startups and digital stories in entrepreneurship.
Yeah, so we can say that you are like the ears and the voice of a lot of the ecosystem related with the startups and entrepreneurship.
Since they don't have a lot of time, I mean, they are very focused on doing their job, like growing their business, because when you are a startup, it's a small business, so it's like let's say a baby that you need to like take care of it a lot, because you are literally starting. So yeah, they are doing the job, and someone else can also help on that. So this is what we like to do as well.
Yeah, I think you have been really print that concept behind the brand that is very important, because people needs to know that they have the support, and even better if they have the support from a media, like really have a presence into the environment that will really show what they are doing and show and enhance all the things that they are doing.
Yes.
So I really appreciate the fact that Silicon is everywhere. Silicon Luxembourg is everywhere, and you can realize how is the present and the support for the startup environment and ecosystem. And coming a little bit more about the origin of the brand, this is something that I'm genuinely curious about, and will love that you tell me a bit more about the story behind the brand.
Sure, sure. Well, the brand itself started 10 years ago, in hands of Charles Louis, our CEO. He started the project as a blog, as a side project, like a lot of projects in on internet started, because he found this, let's say, this gap that no media, I mean, no one here in Luxembourg was sharing what it was happening 10 years ago in the ecosystem. Of course, at that time, the ecosystem was like half of the ecosystem.
That is now, yeah, that's true.
So yeah, it was very, very small, but still he found the need to share what it was happening. I mean, he was like interested on the topic, so he started writing about it, articles about what people was doing here, and step by step, year by year, started like growing and growing more and more. And 2 years ago, officially he launched the company as a with the team. He put us all together,
Okay.
and we really, like, let's say, started as a company. So let's say he already had all the trust from the people, because he did this job by himself for yeah, I would say 9 years, because let's say that 1 year we were involved. But so he had this trust, and he has also these um people around, that everyone like collaborated with him, he collaborated with them as well. So I think this is a key part about what is Silicon Luxembourg today. He took the time to speak and connect with all these people, that we think sometimes that is very easy, and it's not.
Yeah.
It's a job. So I would say for these past 9 years, he did a very good job by himself. So it is very well deserved that, now is this all this, like, um, this answer, this response from everyone.
Correct. I think that actually this is the fact why the brands have been created,
Yeah,
because the market have a necessity, and I think that he found that necessity and have been feeling that very well in order to give to the market what the market was needed.
yeah,
And in this moment was it was not very well communicated what had been happening, and he needs to do that. So
yeah.
I think that until now he have been really do that. And if you see the Silicon Luxembourg team, that is full of, I say that this is Charlou, the angels of Charlou.
Yes, cookie. Yes, yeah.
So
We have one also one of our colleagues. He is we have a second guy. So people think that we have only Charles, but we have a second one, but he lives in Amsterdam. So
it's amazing because I have been seeing that like that. And I think that this is connected with the brand identity. In fact, I mean, personally, as I see most of the world in terms of branding and marketing. So I was thinking, is all the team is beautiful women around. I mean, at least what you see when you have all those events and things that communicate outside. And for me it's amazing. I found this as a part of the communication very approachable, have this female side that for me is very important to find behind a brand, and printing this special touch, like the magic that I think all of you as a team have been doing. So this is part of the fact that Silicon Luxembourg have been positioned as a brand very well into the market. I don't know if you have a special, as you are delivering the content and building the content, have you a special tone of voice when you are building the communication?
yes, yeah, we do have I when I came here to Luxembourg, I started following Silicon Luxembourg 7 years ago, because I am informatic engineer. So I was looking for a job, and I was like, Silicon Luxembourg, Silicon Valley. So I was like, yeah, this this is there is a relation here. So, and then I found out that it was this lay down communication, not very serious communication. So it matched perfectly with it matched perfectly with my personality, because I am like that. So I connected better. And Charles, it is like that. He's like very laid down, even a bit, let's say, informal, like I mean, for the general communication that we see in some big companies, or yes, in here in Luxembourg in general. So yes, we do have this lay down, chill, very friendly, sometimes a bit goofy, and yes, like fun way to communicate to the people. Since the news sometimes have a lot of technology and a lot of innovation to make it more digestible and more understandable. I mean, we make sure to make it more like light. And if you, for example, when you read an article, you can like feel this this lay down a way of speaking. Even if Jess and Louis are doing an interview, they try to drive this interview, in a very chill way, not very like condensed and very strong as sometimes the technology and innovation is.
Let's say that this is when you find this tone of voice in a brand, then you become to do this comparison. And there is one of the questions that I really want to ask you, and is the fact, if you could describe and compare the brand with a person, what kind of person your brand should be?
Well, we were talking this before starting this episode, and I will not like relate it with the gender, because I will say that we are many different type of people in the ecosystem that I cannot picture, like a gender on it. So I said to Charles, I will describe you, because the brand is like very like you are. You are like a guy, very chill and very easy to talk, easygoing, with a lot of information, also knowing a lot about the ecosystem. So you have this touch on how to speak with the people, how to support them also. So I will say that it is like an age between 25 and 45. But
Okay.
yes. I think it's not about a person, but more about the the voice. I will say it's more like a voice, more like a something there than but yes, I also picture with with a t-shirt instead of a suit or something.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I can feel that this is more one of the things is informative, but the other thing is this educational way that you are transmitting the message in a simple and clear way that really allow the people understand the thing direct, clear. And as you well described, Charles, I think is something clear on him that is showing the brand that is doing exactly that. The way to communicate, this tone of voice, and in terms of personality, for me, is clearly a very young brand. I mean, it's something that print on me this drive, like a let's do things, let's participate, let's be part of. That is probably one of the most important things when you want to be part of the media, and when you are part of the media and you are communicating because you want to be inclusive. And I think that this is one of the purpose that you have.
Yeah, this is also, I mean, is a communication that we also use here in the office between us. This is a way that we communicate between each other. So it's nothing like we build up, this communication like many brands they do it, and it is completely valid. But this is also how we behave naturally. So I feel that this is why it's very easy to implement, easy to like show it and transmit it, even like through screens in the events, the people who's coming to the events as well. So it is the way that we are as well. So it is a very organic, let's say.
Organic, okay. And in the way that you are being part of this, adding value to the company in terms of marketing and branding, because all what you are doing are related with this, with the branding, with the marketing. What are the things that you like to do most and why?
Personally, I love I love all the let's say the digital marketing areas. I love branding. I love creative designs and creative communication. I love to see all the brands on internet, what they are doing, how they are building up everything, like on social media and out of social media. But I since I create a lot of content for Silicon, and I am a lot on our in our social media channels. I love first to connect, like to write to the people and see what they are doing, and also to create like ideas what are we going to do for this event. Let's say for this event, the video that we are going to create, how are we going to communicate this news when, for example, if we have big news, which kind of pictures, where are we going to share it? So all this creation around a different topic, I love it. So
So
this is, I think, the most what I,
creativity is one of your strong points, and I have been realizing as well that you have a strong skills in the film and in the photography.
yeah.
Actually, how do you are putting that knowledge and experience into the work that you are doing in Silicon Luxembourg?
Well, exactly like that. I try to, since we have a lot of freedom when we communicate, and it match a lot like my personality and the work that we are doing. Let's say that they leave me, like, okay, yeah, every like all the ideas that you have, they always work, and they are always, let's say, on brand. So I put all my, everything that I have in everything that we are doing, since if I am writing a line, if I am saying something on a video, if we are creating a video for clients and etc., I try to like put it very, very bold, be very bold on what Silicon Luxembourg is. And that means, like, if I need to, for example, learn something in advance, I will learn it and like implement it as well, um, in the projects that we are doing, or the communication that we need to share, or the event that we need to cover. So yeah, I'm bringing like 100% of my my expertise to the field.
Yeah, and then is my next question that probably I can imagine your answer, but actually is related with what is this tool that you probably will be not living without that to do your job every day?
Internet.
Okay, I thought that it will be a bit different. I thought that you will say my camera.
Yes, but since, yeah, I mean, I can, my camera, but if we don't have the phone, we have a camera in the phone. So I will say, if I have internet, I can share whatever I want, either with a camera or without a camera, because we have a lot of articles as well. So it's like, I can, even if I don't have a camera, I can still speak, and communicate with the people. And also, sometimes we forget that through words we can also communicate, and we can also share the vibe or the tone voice, actually, as you said before. You can notice it also in the reading parts, in all the articles. So yeah, I think without internet.
Yeah, well, one of the things that actually is happening is that you can be knowing what is happening right now. And one of the things that I would love to know about you is how do you manage the fact about trends? Have you been researching about trends? Because all this media needs to thinking in advance what is happening, what is how the people will come and take the information or do the things. So related with trends, do you have any specific way to looking for trends?
Yes, personally, I love to see, for example, what last Monday we had the Met Gala, and we can select, we can see a lot of strong trends there when they are, for example, on the red carpet. A lot of things are happening, and you can see always a path of things that are happening. So you can guess, or you can see a path and of trends that everyone is doing, how they are behaving, what the type of questions that they are asking, the way that, manners that they are using. Then after you start seeing all these things on the internet, on Instagram, on TikTok, on yes, like you can see in this live um events, concerts, even, like, for example, in Coachella, a lot of trends were like spread there. So this is the way that I like to be informed, because it's something that is happening on site, live. I mean, there is not a lot of time to prepare in advance, so you see how the people is really behaving, or like even artists, musicians, actors, and all that. So this is how I like to check, the trends after you start, like seeing them on platforms. But yeah.
Yeah, when talking about trends, and one of the things that I found more interesting, and just to make a small short right now, is the fact that I have been found how the brands end up being adapted to the profile personas. I mean, there is some brands that need to communicate to the young people,
Yeah. Mhm.
but the same brand needs to communicate to adults. So they are just managing their communication, even keeping the consistency into the brand, but the colors that they use in their background are different, are very located in this target group that they are communicating. So I think the part of the thing is finding these kind of events that you mentioned, what is
Yes.
happening and how they are receiving the information, in order to really bring that and apply it to the what is happening in the real world, what is happening when the people are receiving the messages, and if this is really making them connect with the brand or not, in a different levels, emotional level, or in the level that they wanted to be related with the brand.
Yes, actually, I was recently doing a boot camp about growth marketing, and they were talking about this, because we are completely different. We behave completely different. We like very, very different things. So we do the segmentation, let's say by age in this case, because per age we know more or less how we are where we are standing. So I had this insight from the bootcamp that a lot of brands that you are saying they need to communicate. They have, let's say, different brands in one brand, not different brand, but like different let's call it boxes. So this box will go to this type of people, this box will go to this other, and this box to this other. Sometimes they do it very, very specific and very narrow, but sometimes they like leave it open. But yeah, all these type of colors, let's say that we, for example, at Silicon, our biggest challenge is to communicate to the young generation.
Yeah.
Why? Because at the moment we are talking about startups, and we know more or less the age where people is like doing starting their path in the entrepreneurial um, area. So we are talking about us, like an age between 25 and 50 plus, I would say. So the younger generation is a challenge still, because they are being they have other channels to where they are looking for the information. They are informed.
Yeah.
They know what is happening, but in a very different way of how we are communicating. So this is a very, for example, is very important, and sometimes brands they don't implement it, or they just say like, but this is not our niche, or this is not our persona, so we just forget it. But sometimes you don't know what is going to happen, even like only doing a small change in the post that you are doing, let's say on social media. Even by changing a color, you have the same message, but the same, let's say you have a message with a yellow background and a message with a blue background, they will have the very, very different impact, because some people just like yellow and some other people like blue. So you don't know which one will be best. Okay, you can somehow with your data you can more or less dive in, and okay, my people they like more yellow, but you are forgetting about the people who like blue. So yeah, this is a, of course, for some people this is this is more work, anyway we are communicating, but it is also, you can see the difference. And for example, in these events like Coachella mainly, it was super notable, because there was, in Coachella you had like people like from 30 plus, but also like from 15. And the brands on site, they were talking with everyone, so they were not forgetting the people from the 15
Yeah.
and the people from the of the 30 plus. So this is one of the things that is like, amazing, and this is why they have a big teams. Some teams, they are just specifically like talking with the group, and the other one with this one. So of course these are brands that they are massive, in small companies you can manage, but sometimes a bit is a bit too much for also for a small team. So yeah, from the part of thinking about the idea for one group to the other one, also to the implementation.
Yeah, but talking about those brands and actually coming from your experience working with big brands that I saw that you have related with Nespresso and IKEA,
Yeah.
what is for you a brand that is brilliantly branded?
um I will say at the moment, I like a lot what Revolve is doing. And I'm coming back from Coachella, because I think they just do it incredible. They are like, like from younger to the oldest, and literally everywhere you can find everything for everyone. I will say, which one I can say? Oh yeah, Revolve. Um, I will say that, for example, IKEA and Nespresso, they have a very specific like segmentation and like persona. So I wouldn't say like yeah, they are amazing as well. They are doing great things, but a brand that is like broad and like covering all that, aspects as well. So yeah, I would say I would stick to Revolve. I think yeah, the moment Revolve, I
Yeah.
like it a
Yeah,
lot.
well, I found the universe of brands and how they are building their communication related with the principles of the brand. For example, IKEA, I have been realizing that all the communication that they have related with how the customer are feeling well in order to
Uh-huh.
decide to become a client, to buy something, and all the spaces that they are doing into the shops are recreating something that will make them feel like they are at home. This is how their home is going to look like if
Exactly.
they buy those stuff. So in certain way, they are connecting the client in the moment that the client are doing this process of decision making to buy
Yeah.
something. So this is brilliantly branded from my point of view. And of course, all the story behind that and all the things that they are doing. But brilliantly branded brands are all those brands that really have and end up doing this connection with the user, connection that actually I'm super passionate for certain brands. And I guess, I don't know if you are the same, but I'm buying normally the same brand of milk or the same brand of groceries.
Yeah,
It's,
because it's like well, like we always do, we give the trust also to the brand, because they did this emotional connection when we need it. That's why you don't communicate only when you need it, only when you need to sell something, or only when you need to communicate like something specific, because you need to build up that bridge between your persona and your brand, you as a brand. So you need to be like as much as let's say as much as a human as you can, because you are building up with a human, not even if we are like, let's say, talking here through a screen. I will not be saying like, yeah, our brand is the best because we make the best decisions ever. No. So this
with
is,
the robotic voice.
I know that this podcast will be listened by people who is like, in the same field as us. They want to just find maybe some more inspiration, maybe some these insights that people is giving. So I need somehow to give, from my very human side, this information. It's the same with the brands. I well, as one of your questions is about a book, And I have this book, I will say it at the end so people can stay till the end.
It's fantastic. But coming back to these humans that
Yes.
that you mentioned is actually something that I wanted to ask you like since the beginning, and is based on your experience. And this is more related not just with Silicon Luxembourg, but more as a personal question. And is what do you know now that you wish had known before?
I will say to just like go for it, because like not stop what because these people is doing this, or these people is saying this, or these people, I don't know what they are going to think. um and at the end I was like, but who them? I mean, I cannot see it in my head. Who them? Who's them? So I feel that I didn't make a lot of things because I was like on the back, like waiting for something that I didn't even know what it was, thinking about someone that I didn't even know uh, who was. So I was like, but for what am I waiting for? Who is that person who's like watching all the time, my steps? No one, it was only like something mentally blocked that, let's say, an excuse to not do it. And since I was like, I would just, before like I had a lot of fun in other type of works, and everything worked out well. So it's like I would just go for it, and if it goes wrong, I mean, nobody will die. So
Chill. It's chill, please, chill. And I think that coming back a bit about the background and the thing that you and I have in common, that
Mhm.
we are Latins living in Europe. You from Venezuela, I'm from Colombia. And this is one of the things that probably as a part of our culture, it was into since we were growing as a kid. I think that it was one of the things. So
Yeah.
who cares about what you are doing, how you are doing, and how you end up feeling that this is something that will really put it you in a box or something like that. And at the end, people, I think this is things that end up doesn't matter. It's something like, well, you are doing what you are doing, you are excelling, and this is how you became a powerful. As you are a super powerful woman, and I'm so proud to have this representation of the Latin world because it's really, yeah, it's really impactful and it's really inspiring. And this is something that really make me call you and invite you to Brilliantly Branded, because it's one of the things that I'm very proud of. I'm very proud to be Colombian and really spreading the voice about how we are, how our culture, because when you are doing branding and coming from my experience, you need to see all the cultural environments where you are developing a brand and how people can take certain communication that you are delivering and how they are managing that. So this is probably one of the things that I'm still taking care of. But the other one, and from the personal point of view, as you will say it, I'm exactly like you. you know, doing the things because you believe on that, because you want to go for it. And this is part of the things that really make a legacy into the people that we have
Yes,
around.
an impact, definitely, that leaves I'm happy when somebody is just taking even a small um information, or just an insight, or just an inspiration for something, because this is also what I take from the people, and I'm happy even with small things like that. I feel that I do my job. If that's done, it's like, okay, it's perfect, it's completely good. So yeah.
So now we are arriving to the almost the end of this fantastic interview. And one of the questions that you said, I'm going to leave it until the end, is love it. What is this book that you wanted to recommend to the people that is now listening to us?
So yeah, I read I read this book that it was a bit painful. I have a love hate relationship with this book. It is Hooked. Let me see if I can show it here on the screen. Hooked, it is a book about how you hook literally the people on internet. So I discovered that a lot of brands are doing this, like tricks, to like literally treat you as just give you a hook, and you are like, and I found out that that I was like falling in all the hooks, and I was like so pissed, and I was like, this book is horrible. It's like teaching the people how to, like, say, like, all these messages. But I was like, at the end I was like, okay, but if I want to play the game in a fair way, I need to have this information, because if like everyone is doing it, I need to have the information also to do it, on my own way, with the good intentions that I have, the positive impact that we want to create. So I was like, I need to read this book until the end, even if it's a bit painful. And it's this one from Nir Eyal. So this book, yeah, super. I have a love hate still about it, but it's a very good information. And I have another one which is called Business for Punks.
Really? That sounds amazing. Who is the author?
They are the creators of Brew Dog Beer. And literally, they did this business by themselves, everything by themselves, like punks. So
Okay.
it's also very, very good, because it's like break all the rules. Yeah, and just do it by yourself. Once you learn it by doing by yourself, you can have a team and, like, transmit all this. And I feel what this is Charles has been doing, like, to close all the circle. Like, he's been like transmitting to us everything that he learned, in the past, like, all these 9 years. We are doing it now in another scale, but with the same purpose, intention, feeling, the vibe. So yeah.
Yeah, and having that experience working with him and working in Luxembourg and reading all those books and all the things that you are doing around. And just to wrap up this episode, do you have a personal advice for those that have or wanted to create a brilliantly branded brand nowadays?
I will say that to be bold, like, to if you like, come as you are, literally. Because if I feel that when the people is very in the gray area, it's like, okay, but you are not showing me everything, like powerful, what you, who you are. Even if you can change your mind, you can change your, let's say, visions and everything, but the core, idea, the core of that business, let's say, it will stay. So I would say, like, be like, just to be bold, and like present the values that you have in a very, like strong way. I don't know how to say, but yeah, like bold, in a bold way, and very clear. It doesn't matter if it's like in the basic words, because it's something that everyone can understand. And the more people understand, the more easy you speak with the people, they will get ideas more fresh and easy, and they will understand. And if you start like talking a lot with complicated words, and like this, people sometimes tend to be like, if I don't understand it, I don't know.
Make it
uh,
simple.
yeah, yeah.
Making
So
it simple. Yeah.
yes, yes, yeah,
Fantastic. Well, Stephanie, I think that we have had a really, really, really pleasant time.
yeah.
Thank you very much for all your insights, for all the value that you are adding to this community. I think a lot of people will learn about you and about your experience working as an angel for Charles Louis.
Thank you so much. I hope this episode can light up a spark in everyone's mind, and like also inspiring them to create things, and like to put hands in the work with what they have in mind. So yeah, we are still in touch.
Of course, yeah. Thank you very much, Steph.
Thank you.
We arrived to the end to this episode. Please stay tuned for more episodes of Brilliantly Branded, and don't forget to follow us on Instagram and LinkedIn for more branding insights and updates. Until the next episode, ciao ciao!